everyone. In this video blog, I'm going to walk you through how we can parameterize ADF or Synapse pipeline. What you can see on my screen, I have Azure Synapse pipeline environment. And the requirement that I'm going to walk you through in this demo, I have multiple CSV file. In this example, I have taken one actors.csv file where I'm getting some actors details. And similarly, I have products.csv file in which I have some product information. Now, while I'm moving this data from source to destination, what I want to do is I want to add some extra columns into it. Okay, so we'll see how we can achieve in Synapse pipeline using copy activity. Now in Synapse pipeline, the first thing that I did is I basically taken one parameter, as you can see, source info, sync info. It's an array type because I'm gonna pass multiple values. So this basically consists of two things. One is, as you can see, the source file, which is my dboactor.csv, and then the destination, which is my SQL Server table, in which I want to move all the data from dboactor.csv into the destination table. And similarly, I'm getting product.csv file, which I'm going to move into the products SQL Server table, right? So I'm passing this as a parameter value. Then I've taken a for each activity. Now what it's going to do is it's basically going to retrieve all the values from the parameters. So if I go back in the staging zone and if I go into the settings, so as you can see over here, it's basically iterating, getting all the values from these parameters, and then a number of items that I'm going to get in this parameters is going to iterate through it. Now within the for each loop, I have a copy activity. In this copy activity, I have a source. So as you can see in the for source, I have defined the location where my file is located. However, the file name is basically I'm going to capture from the incoming parameters value, right? So you can see items.source file because I have two values coming, source file and the other one, right? Now, the other thing that I'm doing is, apart from getting the source file name, I'm also adding some extra columns, right? So I'm going to add record add and the record static value. So record add date is basically going to insert the pipeline trigger time. What that means is on the runtime, I'm going to add a column, which basically going to get stored into the table. And it basically consists of the date when we insert the record into the table. Similarly, if I want to store some static value, I can go ahead and do that as well, right? And these two columns is going to be consistent for each file that I'm going to iterate, right? And hence I'm defining this addition column over here. Now, when I move on to the sync, if I open the sync dataset, what I did is I basically define parameters for my dataset. As you can see, the table name. And when I'm coming to the connection, what I'm telling the connection that I'm connected to this Azure SQL database, and then the table name I'm going to get from the parameters, right? Now, to pass on these parameters, what I need to do is in this particular screen where I'm going to click on the sync, I basically define that this is the parameter name, and I'm going to pass the value of this table, right? This is the another property that I'm getting from the JSON, right? Which is coming as a parameter. So we have a source table, then we have a destination source. What we saw is the source file, and in the sync, I'm going to get the destination table, right? So if I'm getting dbo actors.csv, I'm going to pass that information into the actors table in the SQL Server, right? So that's what it's going to get, right? Yeah, and that's all. And if I go, one last thing is, if I go into the for each settings, so I haven't defined that I want to run this for each as a sequential. I'm going to run it on a parallel. So let's go ahead and debug this. And before I go ahead and do that, let me go to my SQL Server table. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just to check if we have any record over there. So I'm just on my another screen. I'm going to say select star from products and select star from dbu.actors. And I have some values. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to truncate these tables. Truncate table. And I'm going to say truncate table dbu.actors. And let me just clear this out. And here we go. Now, if I just go ahead and select and look into the data, as you can see, there is no record in it, right? So now let's go ahead and execute the pipeline. So I'll just click on debug and I'll say that's fine. And now you can see, because we are getting two values, it's basically running two copy data activity. All right, so there you can see it's executed successfully. And if I go into my database and look into the records, so you can see all the records gets populated into my tables, right? Right, that's all we have to do. And one last thing is once you're passing the values for the source and destination dynamically, don't import the schemas because every file has its own schema. So ADF will take care of that. So you don't have to be import schema and do the manual mapping over here. All right. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye.